Friedrich Nietzsche is one of the most original and, at times, perplexing philosophers of modern thought. His ideas continue to provoke deep reflection about the inner journey of human beings and their relationship with society. Nietzsche deeply pondered themes such as the meaning of life, freedom, power, and individual identity. This is exactly why his words still resonate today. If you want to live a more meaningful and powerful life, Nietzsche's 10 valuable quotes can teach you a lot. Let's explore these teachings together. These quotes offer secrets to not losing in life, progressing on the right path, and finding yourself. 1. To find your way, you must first get lost. How do you feel when you hear this? At first glance, it might seem a bit confusing, but it holds profound meaning. What Nietzsche is saying here is that in order to truly find your path, you must first get lost. This means questioning everything in your life, setting aside societal norms, and disregarding the expectations others have of you. Society may have assigned you a specific role, but that role doesn't define you. To find your own way, you need to lose yourself first. You need to go on an inner exploration, understanding your identity, desires, and fears. Yes, at first it may be confusing, but eventually you will find freedom. 2. He who has conquered himself is greater than others. Here, Nietzsche addresses a very important point. The greatest victory of a person is not over external enemies, but over internal struggles. Conquering your fears, weaknesses, desires, and even your darker sides is a true victory. Beating others and overcoming external obstacles can be easier, but conquering yourself is something entirely different. Accepting and making peace with your inner weaknesses not only makes you stronger, but it also liberates you. Conquering yourself is the biggest step to becoming more powerful than the world outside. True growth and elevation come from relying on your own inner strength rather than external forces. 3. You may know neither when you die nor when you live. You can only discover yourself. Here, Nietzsche suggests that understanding life and death is secondary. Real freedom comes from discovering yourself. Life and death are vast and ambiguous concepts. Sometimes people overthink how fast they are living or when death might come. But according to Nietzsche, such thoughts are not that important. What really matters is understanding your own identity and inner nature. When you discover yourself, neither your life nor your death will matter as much because you'll have found the most important thing, your true self. 4. A great person always represents the best version of an animal. This is quite an interesting perspective, isn't it? Nietzsche, here when describing the highest form of humanity, also unveils the nature of humans. Humans are not just a bundle of logic. They are also beings who can embrace their instincts and intuitions. The ideal person is someone who can balance both reason and instinct, being both rational and emotional. Nietzsche argues that we shouldn't reject our natural side, those sometimes uncontrollable animal instincts. Instead, we should make peace with them and draw strength from them. This is the path to true freedom. 5. People often live against themselves. This quote makes an important observation about societal pressures and the influence of the environment. Nietzsche criticizes people who live according to the expectations of others. A truly free person does not live according to what society tells them to. They live according to their own inner values, desires, and ideals. Most people act based on the expectations of society, their family, or their friends. This often causes people to drift away from themselves and live the way others want them to. Nietzsche argues that true freedom is not about doing what others think you should. It is about listening to your inner voice. Your identity should not be shaped by the thoughts of others. 6. You can be a slave to everything, but you must be the master of yourself. Here, Nietzsche makes a key point about how external forces can shape your life. True freedom is not about chasing everything. It is about taking control of your inner power. You can allow many things in the external world to push and pull you: work, money, societal expectations. But the most important thing is not letting them control you. Knowing yourself and controlling your inner strength are the foundations of true freedom and power. You can pursue anything, but you must do so without losing your true self and without allowing anyone else to control your life. 7. The greatest happiness is to be like a falling star. This is a very meaningful quote because it acknowledges the transient nature of happiness. Many people associate happiness with achieving certain goals or obtaining material things. However, Nietzsche argues that happiness is something deeper. He defines happiness as the brief but intense glow of a star falling in the sky. A star shines at its brightest in its final moments, but eventually it falls. Similarly, happiness is a fleeting moment. The important thing is how you experience that moment. True happiness lies in embracing the fact that everything is temporary and living each moment to the fullest. 8. The older you get, the less you need to be satisfied. Here, Nietzsche refers to the quality of life rather than the quantity of it. As you age, the world becomes filled with more superficial pleasures and material things. However, over time, people become deeper and begin to find satisfaction in simpler, more lasting pleasures. When you are young, many things in the world may excite you. But as time goes on, you will pursue more meaningful, lasting values in your inner world. As you understand the transient and ever-changing nature of things, you will start to seek deeper aspects of life. Real satisfaction does not come from external things, but from internal meaning. 9. Discover yourself, because only by knowing yourself can you truly lose yourself. Here, Nietzsche highlights the importance of self-discovery in relation to the meaning and purpose of life. To be truly happy and free, you first need to know yourself. Knowing yourself is not about becoming like others. It's about understanding who you are and what your inner desires are. Achieving things without knowing yourself will lead to a form of loss. Finding your own identity is what truly sets you free. 10. Everything passes, but you remain yourself. Nietzsche's final quote is perhaps the essence of his entire philosophy. All the transient things in your life, people, events, emotions, even failures, will eventually pass. But your essence remains unchanged. Your true identity and values are beyond all of these fleeting things. Accepting the transient nature of life makes you stronger. It prevents losses and changes from breaking you because you know one thing for certain: no matter what, you will always remain yourself. Conclusion. These 10 quotes from Nietzsche provide the keys to living a more meaningful life and achieving true freedom. If you stop living based on how others want you to be and start finding your own path, you will truly liberate yourself. To avoid losing in life, you need to start your own inner journey. Once you find the power within yourself, you will feel like the world revolves around you. Nietzsche's words invite you not just to think differently, but to approach life more deeply and freely.